So if I recall correctly, and you can correct me if I'm lacking some of the political nuance which is on display here, but we are on our way to get a duchy, which we are far too drunk and stupid to manage, and in the meantime have an outside bet on marrying our daughter to the King of Sweden's son, and then killing the King of
No.
Sweden, making us Sweden?
No, okay, so our son is currently betrothed to the King of Sweden's daughter.
Oh, right.
What we need to do, she'll inherit if he dies right now. But what'll happen is, and they're elective, so we actually can't really bet too heavily on that. But because like their vassals could decide to vote for someone else. But right now, his heir is his daughter. If his daughter inherits and our son inherits, or his daughter inherits and our son is his daughter's husband, then their kid will get both our stuff and Sweden. The problem is that if he gets a son here, and his wife is only 20 years old and he's only 27, so chances are he's going to have more kids. If his wife gives him a son, then that will almost certainly be made into his heir, and then we will just get someone who might have a strong claim on the throne of Sweden. Actually, probably won't. Probably will have a weak claim on the throne of Sweden, which we can get into, I guess, the differences between those if that comes up. But oh,
Right.
froze
Okay.
up. That was weird. Okay, there we go.
And where my confusion was coming in was, of course, we betrothed our daughter to the wrong side of a civil war.
Yeah. So actually, I wanna kind of okay. So right now, what's going on here is there is a revolt to try to push. Where is it? To push Prince Konstantinos's claim on the Byzantine Empire. Now, I'm not 100% certain, because there could be multiple Prince Konstantinoses, but I think that is this guy. It makes the most sense. So actually what I want to do is... let's see, how do I get there? Okay, so I betrothed her to this guy. And as it turns out, that that could work out better if what we do is, well, I mean, so there's still a possibility of us getting the Byzantine throne, but it would require more work. So it'd be really cool if we just got our daughter into a matrilineal marriage with the guy who is about to become the emperor, or maybe about to become the emperor of the Eastern Roman Empire. Now, notably, they've lost a lot of war score here, so I'm a little bit curious if they're gonna win or not. It's because the other revolt ended, and I hope they didn't turn it into Gavelkind, because that would really suck. So the Byzantine revolt still has 17,000 troops versus the Byzantine Empire's 15,000 really. And they do have more gold. Byzantine Empire is actually in a deficit right now, so that's good for their prospects. And they still have more war score, and since they don't appear to have any counties here occupied, that's probably just from battles.
So we should really already start, like, phrasing our awkward breakup email to the good Byzantines. Or rather
right. So let's...
the legitimate but losing Byzantines.
This probably won't make a huge difference, I hope. And we'll be able to immediately matrilineally marry... yeah, here we go. Konstantinos, Prince of the Byzantine Empire, will matrilineal marry us. Yep. All right.
Sounds great.
So that's cool. So even like that works out. So even if we don't, if this revolt fails and we don't get an emperor married to our daughter, yeah, they
matrilineally.
Shit. Yeah, matrilineally, we'll still have him, and we could potentially press his claim in a war, which would require some finagling. I
just want to say that Go ahead.
An interesting historical note here. This dude, I didn't notice this before, but this dude is actually Alexios Komnenos, who historically became the Roman emperor in 1081, or about 4 years from now, after overthrowing the previous emperor in a revolt. And in fact, this guy is... If you want to point to one particular person as being responsible for kicking off the Crusades, this would be it. Basically what happened is in 1071, there was a big battle between the Byzantines and the Seljuk Turks, who are these guys. Wow, they got really big. In a town around here called Manzikert. Where is that? Anyway, it was a huge disaster. The Roman Emperor was captured, and then actually set free by the Sultan, just for kicks, really. He later got blinded and died horribly. And then that kicked off about 4 or 5 emperors in rapid succession that just overthrew each other and took the throne until finally this dude took the throne. And by this point, most of Asia Minor here had been conquered by the Seljuk Turks. So he appealed to the Pope over here in Rome to really just to hire some mercenaries from the West, really, and get kind of a call out to the other monarchs, hey, could you send us some help? Shit is kind of fucked here. And that turned into the First Crusade, which didn't really actually help the Byzantine Empire very much, but ended up taking Jerusalem. And of course, you had all this kind of problems with all these Northern and Western Europeans who were not particularly interested in the Eastern Roman Empire or even really understood what it was, and were much more interested in the idea of going and taking back the Holy Land. But in the process, the Alexios was able to recover much of the coastal territory of Asia Minor, and is remembered as probably the last great Roman emperor.
Okay, if I could put my thumb on the lecture here for a moment, I'd just like to contrast the gulf between your clear level of familiarity with the actual history of this region versus not even glancing at medieval Wikipedia before betrothing our daughter to, the dying king of a failing empire.
Yeah, I may have not done that. Also, all these stats are wrong. He must have been a kid when this game started, because he's been excommunicated too, because I can't imagine being an elusive shadow. I don't think this is his wife. This is definitely not his kids. Well, actually, this guy has the same name as his oldest son. But one of the interesting things, the reason why we know so much about this guy is because his daughter wrote a history called the Alexiad, and she was one of the first female historians and one of the earliest people. Well, not the earliest people, but she wrote this this really detailed work on the history of the Crusades, basically the First Crusade from the Byzantine perspective, which is really interesting. She also ran a hospital and had aspirations to become the Empress herself. That didn't really pan out all that well.
That's all super cool. We should probably restart time here.
Yeah, right. Okay, so we sent that betrothal, right? Yeah, okay. So let's... Yep. Okay, so she's totally fine with it. Let's slow things down here, see what's going on. Also in the meantime, we became a super count. This is our stuff here.
Super count.
Which is cool,
Super
except we're
counting.
so bad at administrating that we can't actually effectively administer this area properly.
So wait, so does this mean that we don't administer it, or that we ineffectively administer it, or that we're in
We
danger of losing the
ineffectively.
land?
We
Okay,
won't be
that's
able to
fine.
raise as many levies, and we won't get as much gold from taxes.
That's fine. I mean, Kentucky's at this point, how old is he? 40?
Oh, right. We had a kid on the way at the end of the last episode. What do we name this person?
Chris, you're in charge of nomenclature.
Well, I'm trying to bring up the stupid list of I don't know, Shasta?
Right, you wrote a list, didn't you?
Shasta.
Shasta LaCroix?
Wasn't that for a girl?
Maybe it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with it.
Shasto.
how you
It's a
write it?
boy.
Shasto. I was actually thinking that's Shashto, actually, Josh. But I mean, hey, he was named by Kentucky of Bourbon, so maybe a little bit of a lisp is appropriate. Yeah, name the kid Shasta.
I can't even remember what it is now.
No, it's a boy. Fuck,
Okay.
it's Shasto.
It does sound like a bad
right.
Sean Connery impersonation.
So, let's see what we got here.
LaCroix, heir to the beverage, heir to the beverage fortune. Is beverage an area in France? Can we take over
Loss
beverage?
on succession? Why?
Oh my god, it
we're
does
also
sound like it is one,
Galway.
doesn't it?
This guy wants our support on the council. What's even going on the council right now?
I don't
Sure,
have time for
I
the
don't
council.
Kentucky's just way too fucking drunk to deal with this shit. Sure, you have my support, my undying support. Now please leave me alone. I promised the Pope I would sit in my room for the next 4 years, and I'm actually just thinking this is a good opportunity to get into that cask of bourbon.
We get a letter from the Pope saying that the church is very concerned that we named our kid Shasto.
This isn't technically against God's teachings, but, you know, it just feels like it's in the same ballpark.
It's not a violation of the letter of the Bible, but it goes against the spirit pretty strongly.
Okay, so I want to ask you a question while you're administering all this nitty-gritty stuff, Joshua.
Right.
Is there a particular reason... Okay, so I can see nothing about our house that has any special appeal. So my question is, why aren't all of these other political figures being bombarded with marriage requests? Just like thirsty, like, hey, what you doing? Like, what you up to? Messages from just other counts and dukes and whatnot that want to just get a piece of that distant foreign pie. What is special about the LaCroix?
You mean, like, why can we propose a marriage between our, like, nobody house in central France and the actual Roman emperors?
Yes.
I think that's largely a result of, like, players are allowed to make marriage proposals that the AI just would never do. So we can choose the childhood focus. So this is, like, the focus of our kids, like, early education. Almost always the best one to pick is thrift, because curious can turn into a shrewd, which gives like +2 to all stats, and fussy can turn into patient.
The icon for fussy is just broccoli.
Yeah.
I would be really fascinated reading a history of distemper with broccoli.
So France came out of those two wars really, really well, by the way. We didn't lose Zealand, and we took back all of the Duchy of Normandy. And now England has expanded into Brittany somehow, and I don't really know what's going on there.
So why are the icons in the center top of the screen stained glass and not very unlegible stained glass at that?
Just art style. You get used to it.
I can't make it, other than the one with the heart, with the crown and the leaves, I don't know what the other three are. One kind of looks like a shrimp.
2 hands.
That looks like a
2
shrimp.
hands here. It's 2 hands.
I want shrimp.
It may be 2 hands extending shrimp. And this one is like land.
Okay, I guess I can see that one.
Grass.
And then the other one looks like somebody who's blue holding a parking ticket. Or maybe a police officer wearing a silly hat.
Shields. That's one shield breaking up. A peasant is accused of murder before your court. His wife and children were found butchered in the small hut they called home, and he was standing nearby covered in their blood. Despite the damning evidence, the man continues to profess his innocence. What should be done with him? This doesn't tell us what the consequences will be, so...
I mean, that's pretty thin,
Dungeon.
honestly.
What's the point of having a dungeon if we're not going to use it?
You know, eventually there's going to be some sort of horror that rises from beneath your noble house, and then your descendant will have to send a bunch of increasingly foolhardy adventurers down there.
So,
well, hopefully
I feel
we'll be in
like
Sweden
that's
by then.
definitely what would happen right up to the point of our descendant giving any kind of a shit about the fact that our basement turned into a hell portal.
You remember our house. Drunk, disorderly, not that great. Well, the bad news is at some point I graduated from prostitutes and entire basements and cellars filled with casks of here that, unfortunately, I may have summoned an elder god.
Yeah, good luck with that, Dad.
The worst part is the Pope doesn't like it very much.
The Pope excommunicated you. So
No,
the
Pope chastised us.
Boo.
We paid him off.
We had to invent a new category of indulgence just for you. This is like the platinum member indulgence, but
I vote dungeon.
The credit card. All right, let's throw in the dungeon.
VIP indulgences for those big eldritch crimes. All right, so what are we up to here?
I don't know. I kind of got like sidetracked from the whole like let's get a duchy.
Right.
The thing with it's Roseman. Yes, let's visit the monastery where the feat has been accomplished.
Let us continue to humor Roseman as an alternative to our other hobby, which is getting stone-faced drunk and smashing tables with our face.
Gardener? Aren't we?
Wait, we're a cannibal?
Pilgrim? We
When
can't
did we
get
become a
two
cannibal?
lifestyle traits. Oh, that was when we created the character.
Has that come up at all? Have we eaten anybody?
No. I wonder if we can.
I didn't actually remember we did that.
It's not on the list. Why won't he ransom you? No no interest in it. Oh, right. This is from the guy who was running... This is from Guy the Lewd. This is his family who was running the county of Limousin. Let's...
Yeah, but why not? I mean, like I said, you know, it's... What else are we doing with our lives?
What happened? Can we have two... I don't think this... Oh, we can have two lifestyle traits. How about that? Wow, okay. Well, that gave us more stewardship, which is good.
Yeah, we desperately need that.
Yeah, really.
We're still 2 over.
Yeah, we need more, really. What we need to do is get a duchy, because that will increase the number of counties that we can own. So the problem with that is that we can't... okay, let me go to the duchy menu here. No. De jure. Duchy of Bourbon. We can't create a title of the same rank or higher than our lieges, and our liege is the Duchy of Aquitaine, at least our direct liege. So what we need to do is
Look at that Zeus-looking
fight
motherfucker.
and win an independence war against him. Then we'd be able to make the duchy. Problem is, this dude is really powerful, and we're not.
We're going to need Jeff
pretty
Goldblum as
powerful
a vassal for this.
for his vassals. In fact, we're probably his most powerful vassal at the moment.
We're going to have to recruit as a vassal Sir William the Smith.
Oh, right. We've got this shit. Okay. Yeah, we're his most powerful vassal.
Ask that Rose guy if we can get Jeffrey of the Golden Bloom to help us in our war for independence.
Oh, we should also check up on the plot here, see if anybody will... No, nobody wants to join. Nobody's interested. I don't think we're going to be able to murder this guy, you guys. Oh, you know what we can do, though? Are you pregnant yet? Good. No. Okay.
All right, we're still trying to kill the
we
king
could
of
send
Sweden.
our wife to spy on them. Or we
Would
could
that help
appoint
us?
someone else to be spy master and get a little bit... Well, that'll increase our plot power.
Oh, we should definitely do that then. Yeah, just
Should
send
we
our
appoint
wife.
this guy, though? Because like our
Oh.
wife has 10 and he has 14. He'd give us more plot power.
Yeah,
let's do that.
absolutely.
Fire
Also,
our wife.
then we could. Then we could keep our wife.
Oh, actually, you know what we should do? What are your stats? Okay. You're also a powerful vassal. I'm gonna
These ports kill me.
try to like shuffle people around here in such a way. Change council position to. Will he quit being my steward? Okay, cool. So it switched them. And you, I don't really care about. So what we'll do is we'll change. Oh, we can't make you anything. I see. Okay, so right, because we don't have the proper gender equality laws to just make her into a diplomat yet. So we'll do this, and we'll do... Wow! Why does this guy... Oh, because he's a rival.
So we can't have him?
No, we can. It's just not that great to have people who really, really hate you on your council. First of all, they'll vote
As
against
your
anything
spy
you
master?
propose. Not my spy master, as my chancellor. Secondly, they will give a lot of plot power to someone who wants to kill you.
Which is going to be a very real problem once we start fucking everybody's day up forever.
Yeah. You can get this. What the hell? We'll do this. And we're just gonna. I don't know what we should even be
I like
doing at
that.
this
Was
point.
did that really go from -100 to -96 because he likes you a little bit more that you've appointed him counselor?
Yeah, I made him a chancellor. I'm gonna see if he can fabricate a claim on the Duchy of Aquitaine, just because that would be really funny. Because then we'd be able to go to war with our leaders, not just for independence, but for his own duchy.
Oh man, the historians are going to record. Essentially, the downfall of the House of LaCroix, who did have control over the de jure Duchy of Bourbon, was in a missive between the current Chancellor Joshua and his other advisors, wherein he confided, fuck it.
Is his name actually Joshua? No. Let's send you to Rome. Actually Rome this time. Or Roma, in this case. So maybe you'll go get
I hear
some
they got
tomatoes.
great tomatoes there.
No roaming around.
They probably don't have tomatoes yet, actually.
Yeah, they
Wow,
probably don't.
immediately improved Pope Alexander's opinion of us, who he doesn't like us all that much to begin with. Wow, look at all those -5s.
Church views on gluttonous, cynical drunkards who lie all the time.
I like how cannibalism is only a -10. It's only twice as bad as being gluttonous. He eats
It's
a lot,
as bad
and
as
it's
owing
people.
money.
Also, yeah, we owe money. You don't like Kentucky or bourbon? Why? Oh, he lies all the time, and he's not very religious. I pretty much know he's not. One time he fell asleep and fell through a table on which there was, like, a bunch of candles and, like, holy literature, and he can't read a Bible, and he eats people, and he owes money.
So, the barons want hunting rights on church lands. Yes or no? It'll just change the bishop's opinion. The Bishop of
No.
Saint Jean d'Angely.
Oh, he fucking hates us. Just go ahead.
Now he's gonna hate us more.
So what? What's he gonna do about it? Pray that we die?
He can get involved in a plot.
No vassal has a negative opinion.
Well, then we could call him a
Became
hypocrite on Reddit.
Do quit it. Change. See, the other thing is, oh, did no, okay. that rebellion fell through, I guess.
Oh.
Oh. And where is Alexius right now? Oh my god! So he got executed, so much for the Crusades, I guess.
Well, history is just circling the drain now. We're just inventing it as we go.
Was that who we betrothed our kid to?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
We betrothed our kid to this dude.
Okay.
And he still has a strong claim on the Byzantine Empire, so we could potentially do something with that later on. But
was that the son of the guy who was mauled to death?
no, it has nothing to do with that. He was just pushing for a different member of the family to be the emperor.
Got it. I think.
Anyway, what we actually really need to do is I shouldn't have gone this at all because I want to become intrigued. We won't be able to do that for another 3 years. Also, we're stressed, and we probably should get rid of that at some point.
Why don't we just eat somebody?
Do they have spas or vacations in medieval Europe? What do you do to get rid of stress?
Nobody likes me. Why doesn't anyone like
You just
me?
Game of Thrones somebody.
It's because I'm a terrible person.
Like, what is there to like about you?
It was a good question right there. We may at some point need to replace our council with a bunch of unskilled sycophants to make people like me, but that's gonna be hard. Well, these aren't actually gonna be that hard to deal with, but so our goal here right now, what we need to do is wait a couple years until we can build up some stuff, or until this guy dies and leaves all his kids a bunch of... Oh, you know what? He only has one son, so it's not going to matter. His son's going to get the title because he's the only son to inherit. Oh, Flotus needs a focus, so thrift again.
Okay, pardon me for asking this, because sometimes I can't parse what you're doing in these menus, but did we end up raising our children?
We are in the process currently of raising our children. Although our educator of our children is... damn it. Damn it, we need to be educating our children. Thank you very much.
Were they being educated by that guy who hates you?
No. They were being educated by our wife. We educate two children. Okay, so
Our
our wife
wife
can
who
get
hates us.
Shasto. Our wife
The
doesn't pay us
Shasto
that
gets
much.
the... Oh, poor Shasto. Shasto
I mean, our wife's
got
stats
shafted.
are not. Our wife's stats and traits are not terribly bad, so like it'll
He's
probably
okay.
turn out okay.
He's like a lustful beast who fucks and eats people and gets drunk all the time. But he's pretty quiet, so...
No, we're going to war against Sardinia?
What?
We hate their tiny fish.
Or really,
heard
we're
there
just
were a
going
bunch
to
of-
war against this one county. There's a bunch of like...
We heard there was
There's a
there.
Muslim... No, there's not a Muslim. Wait, how can we declare a holy war? Oh, because his... Okay, I see. Somehow this guy has... This Muslim ruler has this Christian ruler as his vassal, and they hold land in Sardinia, so France is going to go take that.
Okay.
Can we just settle
Really, we
down in
should pick
Tuscany and like...
We should pick up Corsica here so we can get some Napoleons.
I just want to have some like good pizza.
Why the fuck am I educating you? Wait.
Just Kentucky
Sure,
LaCroix
great.
discovering
I
all
don't
these
care.
children around his house, just like, who the fuck are you? I don't care who your
going on
dad
in
is.
the
Get out of my
Empire?
way. I got some gardening to do. Jesus.
Somebody else wants it.
I'm just picturing this like friar-looking dude with ridiculous hair,
Shit.
half doubled over in the garden, also drinking. Like,
Just like getting shit-faced on
rid of these
small
prisoners.
beer. And somebody like bumps into him, he's just like, Jesus fucking Christ! And they throws a handful of money at a priest standing nearby.